Happy Independence Day, everyone. Welcome back. NicknLex here. Thank you for joining me today to this new video of Music with Nick. Like I said, today we're celebrating 4th of July. This is the second video of the same series. This is sponsored by JK again. Thank you so much. I just did the first marathon. Now I'm doing the second, and it was just amazing. If you haven't watched that, the other one is called Independence Day Marathon, and this is also about the same, but in a little bit of a different way and different songs. But we hope you enjoy. So I'll go through my email here real quick by JK. So this is called American Elegies Song List, and this is obviously for today, the 4th of July. And so I'll leave both videos basically in the description. If you see this one first or the other one first, doesn't really matter. There's no real, way of watching them. Just, you can watch them in the future or, whenever you want. So, but we're going to start it off with Simon and Garfunkel. And this is the song. I've been wanting to do this. I wanted to do this with Alexia, but I guess I'll just go back and redo it with her. No problem. There's a lot of songs that I do want to listen to again, and I'm just gonna do them with Alexia afterwards. So America is one of them by Simon and Garfunkel from the album Bookends 1968. Then we're gonna do some John Mellencamp. Pink Houses is the song from 83. The album is called Uh-huh. Then those I've never listened to. I don't, not that I remember, sometimes I do. Now Neil Young here, Hawks and Doves from the album One and the Same 1980. Living in the USA by Steve Miller from the album Sailor 68. And My Country by Randy Newman from Bad Love 1999. Now, Randy Newman, I've only done, I think, 1 or 2 on the channel. And of course, we know it's the guy who did the song. I know this is basically very, very unrelated to you guys. But for us, that we're from this generation, Toy Story, the first one, the theme song, that's when Randy Newman pretty much came on our radar. So yes. All right, so we're gonna start it off with Simon and Garfunkel, and yes, we've done a full album on Patreon if you want to watch it, but we've done some reactions to Simon and Garfunkel and Paul and Simon on the channel if you want to check them out. I'm usually leave all the stuff related to these artists in the same video here. They pop up, they keep popping up. You can click on them or tap, if you watch it on a phone or a tablet. Be sure to use headphones always, because otherwise the quality does suffer a lot when you listen to this on a mobile device. It is just what that's just the fact. All right, so here we go again. Thank you so much, JK. Thanks everybody for being here. If this is your first video or first time watching a video, I usually do these reactions with my dear wife, but not these longer ones because of her back. Although it's getting better and better, so I have high hopes that in the future we might be doing more marathons together. I really want to do these marathons with her, but for now it's been quite impossible. Let's see what the future holds. So here we go with America, and yeah, I love Simon and Garfunkel. So here we go, and if you're new, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Here we go.
Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. Some real estate here in my bag, so we bought a pack of cigarettes and Mrs. Wagner pies and walked off to look for a man. said as we boarded a Greyhound in Pittsburgh. Michigan seems like a dream to me now. It took me 4 days to hitchhike from Saginaw. I've come to look for America. Laughing on the bus, playing games with the faces. She said the man in the gabardine suit was a spy. I said be careful, his bow tie is really a camera.
Wow, the lyrics.
Toss me a cigarette, I think there's one in my raincoat. We smoked the last one an hour ago. So I looked at the scenery. She read her magazine, and the moon rose over an open field. Kathy, I'm lost, I said, though I knew she was sleeping. I'm empty and aching, and I don't know why. Counting the cars on the New Jersey Turnpike, they've all come to look for America. All come to look for America. All come to look for America.
Wow, so good. All right. All right, so okay, I messed up. This was, I mean, just the song, you know, if you, and you know, JK gave me a little bit of a warning here, like, you know, look up, pay attention to the lyrics, because the song might not seem, you know, what it, because I mean, if you listen to the song without paying attention, it sounds very happy. It has a lot of happy moments. The chord structure is just very, like, there's a major chord progression going on, and even though the singing sometimes by Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel, it could be sounding a little bit on the sadder note, the way they harmonize, but the meaning of the song. So if I wouldn't have paid attention, I would have said, oh my God, the only thing that comes to mind is the beauty of the harmonies, the pronunciation of the words, and just the whole structure, you know, and the sound of the song. It's a beautiful song, and I love that saxophone playing these really weird little notes there. But it says here, Simon and Garfunkel's song "America" is about young lovers hitchhiking across the United States in search of America in both a literally and figurative sense. Now, it says the song mood shifts and has been interpreted as both exaltation and elegy, with lyrics that have been described as cloyingly patriotic, sorrowful, and poignant. The song is steeped in national mythology and reflects the band's ability to craft expansive yet deeply personal narratives. Now, because yes, I did notice about, like, you know, this one has a camera, you know, this one, there's one on the raincoat, you know, there's this thing. It says here, some say the song tells the story of two lovers whose union falters amid the national chaos outside the bus windows. Others say it reflects a sense of restlessness and captures the feeling of being disillusioned, confused, and at loss of beauty and innocence. In 1968, when the song was released, those looking for America might have found devastation at home and abroad, including the Tet Offensive and the King and Kennedy assassinations, cities in flames and youths in revolt. So yeah, I mean, you know, there's this whole thing that you could go into discovering these lyrics, you know. I mean, and yes, you notice it a little bit, you know, by the lyrics, because it could be out so many things, you know, and I think everybody has their interpretation. But let me know what I want to know is, I guess, what did you think if you were alive in 1968 and maybe were in your teens or something, or, you know, or maybe you were just a boy and did you hear the song? What did you think about these lyrics? What was your interpretation? Because, you know, on the internet, there's a lot of information, but maybe I could be completely wrong here, you know, what I'm saying. So I don't really know what to think. I have to listen to it more, you know, and then I can make up my mind what it really means. But I guess, you know, there's a lot of theories here. And so I want to hear yours. But I just want to say this is a beautiful song. And all right, so let's move forward with Pink Houses. And I'm going to have the lyrics up as well, because all these songs are a little bit on the not what it seems kind of type, you know? So here we go with John Mellencamp, Pink Houses. Here we go. Okay, so that's what I didn't want. When I pressed pause, it's a little bit unresponsive, this program. I'm talking about Spotify. So sometimes when the song ends, I want to pause to talk, and it just keeps playing because it has a lag. So it is what it is. So I'm sorry, let's play it from the beginning. Here we go.
Well, there's a black man with a black cat living in a black neighborhood. He's got an interstate running through his front yard. You know, he thinks he's got it so good. And there's a woman in the kitchen cleaning up the evening slop. And he looks at her and says, hey darling, I can remember when you could stop a cloud. Oh, but ain't that America for you and me? Ain't that America? Something to see, baby. Ain't that America? Home of the free, yeah. Little pink houses for you and me. Oh, yeah, for you and me. Well, there's a young man in a t-shirt, list to a rock and roll station. He's got a greasy hair, greasy smile. He says, Lord, this must be my destination. Cause he told me when I was younger, said, boy, you're gonna be president. But just like everything else, those old crazy dreams just kinda came and went. Oh, but ain't that America for you and me? Ain't that America? Something to see, baby. Ain't that America? Home of the free, yeah. Little pink houses for you and me. Oh, the good baby for you and me. Well, there's people and more people. What do they know? No, no. Go to work in some high rise and vacation down at the Gulf of Mexico. Oh yeah. And there's winners and there's losers, but that ain't no big deal. 'Cause the simple man, baby, pays the thrills, the bills that kill. Oh, but ain't that America for you and me? Ain't that America? Something to see, baby. Ain't that America? Home of the free, yeah. Little pink houses for you and me. Ooh, yeah. Ain't that America for you and me? Ain't that America? Hey, with something to see, baby. Ain't that America? Oh, the home of the free. Yeah, 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 yeah. Little pink houses, baby, for you and me. Ooh, yeah. Ooh,
All right. So that's, yeah, this one is I from this one is kind of like easier to decipher, even though I'm not, I'm not used to analyzing lyrics so quickly, but I see obviously there's like this underlining, almost like, it's almost like, ain't that America, like that saying. So here's a little example by Google. So I'm not gonna go into my, I'm not gonna try. I love what I can take from right now on a first time listening. I love the style, of course, of the music. It reminds me a little bit of, I would say Billy Joel a little bit. It reminds me a little bit of Bruce Springsteen. The style, the singer songwriter, he's singing about something that's supposed to be. It sounds very happy and very catchy, but the lyrics are pretty much more on the darker side. It's almost like, So what it says here. Let's see. So Mellencamp had intended pink houses, and also like pink houses for you and me. Like, let's just almost like settle, with what is given to us. So Mellencamp had intended pink houses to be a lesson on race, class, and survival in America. The repeating line in the chorus of Ain't That America was meant to be sarcastic and cynical. Yeah, that's, I guess, what I got from it a little bit. Ironically, the song came to be used in political advertisement. Oh, okay, that's kind of weird. I get that, I think it would have been, maybe it would have been cool to see the video. But hey, it's all good. Let's see what it says here, and then I'll go to the next one. And what I love about the channel is you guys. Because you've heard this song and you've made up your mind since this came out, I mean, or maybe on the 10th listen, you're like, nah, this is what this song about, Since, let's see. So since 1983, you've had time to think about this. So that's what I want to know. What do you guys think about this? I think it's a very catchy song with lyrics that are a little bit, more on the harder side to decipher. Let's see what it says here. Mellencamp's the lyrics of Pink Houses are a social commentary packed carefully into the confines of a 3-minute pop song. As a songwriter, Mellencamp has kept it simple throughout his career. His songs are not quite as inventive or fine-crafted as Bob Dylan or Bruce Springsteen, but they're simple, accessible, and grounded in a small-town American heartland sensibility. He came up in the music business at an interesting time in the early days of MTV. He was originally packed as John Cougar, a sort of a market-driven caricature, but as his success allowed him some independence, the name of the albums to John Cougar Mellencamp, and then to John Mellencamp. Now, Pink House is a song built on a narrative impulse, but it's not really a story song, in that it doesn't tell one simple story. Instead, it uses a few snapshots to suggest a larger commentary. Yeah. Well, I'll leave it at that. There's so much information, but I'll get into that. I'll open that can of worms later. I can't do, but because then it's gonna be a 90-minute video, But yeah, I like this. I like this very, very much. Okay, Neil Young, a legend, amazing guitar player, amazing pianist, singer, songwriter. This is Hawks and Doves. Let's go with the amazing Neil Young, who I'm so happy that he put his music back on Spotify because it's so damn good. So here we go.
Ain't getting old, ain't getting younger though, just getting used to the lay of the land. I ain't tongue-tied, just don't got nothing to say. I'm proud to be living in the USA. Pictures grim, the devil knows we might feel that way again. The big wind blows, so the tall grass bends, but for you, don't push too hard, my friend. Ready to go, willing to stay. Circling in the rain, got rock and roll, got country music playing. If you hate us, you just don't know what you're saying. Ready to go, willing to stay. So my sweet love can dance another free day. USA, USA.
Yeah, that one, I would have totally fallen for this one, because the music is happy. It's a dance song. It has very cheerful violin or fiddle, and it's just very uplifting. But if you really listen to the lyrics, it's about, yeah, it's about power and weaponry and stuff, which is so crazy. It's an art, it's an art to play a very, very happy song, but the meaning of the song is, somebody who doesn't understand English would totally be dancing to this, and maybe they know the chorus, USA, so it says here, like, I did pull it up. So what do hawks and doves mean in politics? I don't know why it has to be exactly politics, because this is obviously not a marathon about that, but it says hawks and doves is a way to categorize how government officials view foreign policy. Those who seek an aggressive policy based on strong military power and other means are known as hawks, whereas doves seek a less aggressive foreign policy which reduced military power. Well, I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I guess that's the doves and hawks, but the whole song, I mean, it's also like, yeah, it's like, so my sweet love can dance another free day, because, yeah, we're armed to the guilt, which is, I mean, it is true, I mean, the US is one of the most powerful countries because of also military, military power. And I get it, that's something, for example, that Germany could not say, right now, because I guess Germany was divided after World War II into all these sections. I mean, it's still there and it's still Germany, but I even remember as a kid that I do remember there was still like, especially in Munich, it's almost like the US, they stayed in Bavaria, and of course all over the Germany they still have, different US like military like bases, and but even my dad, I remember my dad telling me about this, that he when he was a child, he would go to these military bases and to sell dictionaries to the soldiers, to the US Army, and they would buy from him, and that was just like a cool thing for him, because he was like, wow, the US, USA. And in the end, I guess it did save, Germany from complete, annihilation, I mean, I guess the Russians stopped the Germans, in World War II, and then the Americans stopped the Japanese. But again, it is now under control, and rightfully so. Germany, I think, is a beautiful country, but they now have to live with that forever. Like, hey, you started World War I and World War II, and did all this crazy stuff, and now you're basically, your country it's being watched, which I understand. Great song. I love it. But yeah, I love all this, this portrayal of happiness and stuff, but there's an underlying message in all of these songs that are really cool idea, JK. Really, really cool idea. Very, very sneaky, But I loved that you warned me, because you were like, Nick, I know you focus more on the music. Pull up the lyrics, do yourself a favor. So, yeah. Thank you. All right. Living in the USA. And I mean, even for me, like, I was born in Germany. I lived in Mexico for half of my life. Well, not exactly. I lived longer in Germany, but I lived in Mexico for a long time. So I got the culture of Germany, and then I moved to Mexico. My parents moved there. So I had to move along even though I went back to study in Germany because I was like, I don't speak Spanish. I don't know what I'm doing here. I didn't like it at all. It was a culture shock. It was like going into the past 30 years. And I didn't like that at all. You know, at 15, I was like, I want to be back in my city, you know, city life. And I didn't understand anything. And it was hot. And the food was spicy. And, you know, I was just so used to the German way of life, you know. And then coming to this country, you know, I mean, this one is it's so different because this reminds me more, the culture here in this country reminds me more of Mexico. Like it's more, Mexico is very different than the US, but just the terrain and the whole, the way it looks, you know, it reminds me, of course, I guess, because it used to be Mexico, you know, I don't know, but it wasn't such a culture shock, you know, from moving from Mexico to the US. But then when I went back to Germany, I was like, oh my God, it's so different here. I mean, if you guys have been to Europe, you know what I'm talking about. It's a completely different world in every sense of the way. It's like going back in time to the dark ages almost, you know. I mean, there are parts of things that you see, you know. But I honestly love it the same in all three countries. I have to say, if I could afford it, I would live here 6 months and then I would live another 3 months in Germany and another 3 in Mexico, because I enjoy all the cultures so much. I love it here. I love the United States. I love so many things here, but I also love so many things in Mexico. And there's so many things that I love about Germany or Europe in general, I think. So this one here is Living in the USA. Steve Miller Band. This is going to be amazing. Here we go. Well, yeah. Great again, another great tune, and a lot of little things looking for Uncle Sam. A lot of little messages, and like dietitian, television, politician, mortician. I mean, there's so I just went on Reddit, and there were like 30 different interpretations of the song, and come on, try it. You can buy it. You can leave it next week. And someone give me a cheeseburger. For example, that cheeseburger thing, like that is obviously not true. Like in Europe, people don't think that Americans only eat cheeseburgers, because I mean, whoever does needs to read, a book or two or 10, on just like culture in the United States, all the food, that exists from state to state. And it's just a rich, like I didn't know this, Alexia has taught me throughout the years. And there's like this, yeah, I guess, a lot of people have the wrong point of view of the United States. I would assume, especially people living outside the U.S. That have never flown over, to America. Let's, I don't know, Canada, or Mexico or South America or whatever. They would maybe have the wrong idea. But this is obviously, it has a little bit of everything in here, like politics. And let's see. Now I'm not gonna get too much into it. Let's see. Now the new thing here is like when you put something in Google AI overview, you get AI, which honestly I'm not a big fan of. They're using it way too much, but well, we'll see what happens. It says here, and you also can see sometimes how dumb AI is, I mean, if it's not programmed by a human being, it's pretty much worthless, right? But it says Steve Miller wrote and composed Living in the USA with the intention of performing it at the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. So he did not, I guess. The song has political undertones and was a hit after its release, but then faded away. Years later, it unexpectedly sold 100,000 copies in Philadelphia in a week. All right, so it doesn't really talk about the song, what it is, what it means. But here, if I go here on song meanings, right? There's like 20 people, and I kind of like went through it really quickly, and everybody has something different to say here. Well, it says here, the lyrics sum it up. What makes America great? Freedom, cheeseburgers, stock, cars. I don't know. Is that really, what it is? Like, that is, I think, a very simple way of... This was written in 2006. What is this? Oh, it's a commercial. So, yeah, I don't think so. I think there's things that make America an amazing country that are, that are not hamburgers, like it's music, it's, that it's a free country. That's pretty much what we're talking about, especially in the other marathon. It's a lot about freedom, and I think that's what makes it a great country. There's rich history, there's a lot. Of course, every country has good history and bad history, but I think the United States have done great things, which other countries have not made. Because cars, I'm sorry, and this is a debate that I have between Alexia. But being a German, I mean, German cars, excuse me, right? But I'm gonna buy. I'm not gonna buy a German car because it's way too expensive. There are no parts here, so I'm gonna buy a Dodge. I'm gonna buy a Challenger. I mean, that's an amazing car. It's beautiful. But I mean, you know, this is coming from a German. You know, I'm not gonna say German cars are not amazing, but yeah, I think American cars are amazing. And this is this is literally like a constant little joke between us because obviously Alexia, she's American. She was born here, and for her, American cars are. That's it. Don't give me anything else. When New York started having other cars which were not American as taxis, she was like, I can't believe it. It's like, so yeah, she's like, you know, she's like that. I love it, you know. But she is an American girl. All right, so Randy Newman is next. My Country, from the album Bad Love, 1999. Let's see what Randy has to say. Here we go.
Let's go back to yesterday when a phone call cost a dime. In New Orleans, just a nickel. Turn back the hands of time.
This is in 1999.
Turn back the hand of time. Picture room, window, sofa and some chairs. Television turned on for the night. Picture a woman, two children seated. Man lying there, faces softly glowing in the light. This is my country. These are my people. This is the world I understand. This is my country. These are my people. That no one will light the back of my own hand. We had something to say, bounce it off the screen. We were watching and we couldn't look away. We all know what we look like. You know what I mean. Wouldn't have had it got comedy, tragedy, everything for me to be. Watching other people living, seeing other people play, having other people's voices fill our minds. Thank you, Jesus. Feelings might go unexpressed. Think that's probably for the best. Dig too deep, who knows what you will find. This is my country. Those were my people. Theirs was a world I understand. Picture room, no window, door leads outside. Man lying on a blanket on the floor. Pictures three grown boys behind him. bouncing words off of a screen of a television big as all outdoors. Now your children are your children, even when they're grown. When they speak to you, you got to listen to what they have to say. But they all live alone now. They have TVs of their own. They keep on coming over anyway. And much as I love them, I'm always kinda glad when they go away. This is my country. These are my people. This is a world I understand. This is my country. These are my people. And no one like the back of my own hand. I know them like the back of my own hand.
Wow, so good. This one was obviously more, like, I mean, self-explanatory just by reading the lyrics. But again, I would have felt like, oh, it's a cute song, you know. Like, the thing is, you lose yourself when you listen to the piano and the drum patterns on the guitar and the melody of the singing. But yeah, these songs are meant to be listened to with the lyrics, because if not, then you're like, oh, it's a beautiful tale, you know, like, I don't really know what it's about, but it, you know, you could fall into that. So what it says here in song facts. Now, I said this was in 1999 because he started basically saying, you know, how expensive gas is in 1999, and this is 25 years later. Now it says here, the song facts: George W. Bush was president of the United States when Randy Newman started performing the song in 2006. Bush was rather unpopular, in large part because of the Iraq War was not going as planned. In this song, Newman points out that other world leaders throughout history have been far worse. For example, Hitler and Stalin. Yeah, of course. There's no comparison. In 2007, before he recorded the song, Newman published the lyrics as an editorial in the New York Times under the title State of the Union, Another Take. Now this is an article that says, in defense of our country, of the song. Newman told the Guardian newspaper, 2008, I knew when I wrote it I wasn't going to last because we're never going to have an administration this bad again. We haven't in some 200 years. I believe in numbers and the odds are against it. Wow. Yeah, shut up, Nick. Shut up. When Newman spoke with Rolling Stone in 2017, the first year... Oh no, this is too much. I'm not gonna get into this. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not gonna get into this. You know, this is not the channel. This is not the channel for this. I don't want to talk about politics. Especially not right now. Yeah. That's it. I love the music. I love this country, and I wish nothing but the best for this country. And in time, it will happen. And there's always a turnaround. There's always a turnaround for the best or for the better, and it will happen. That's all I have to say. These were amazing songs, and yes, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of stuff to think about. But yeah, I want you guys to break these down for me. What did you think? You heard my reaction. I'm not an American, so I didn't live here in these times. So what did you experience when these songs came out? What is your interpretation? Let's start a conversation in the comments, and keep it, of course, civil and nice. We're all friends here. And yeah, let's do that. But I think these are very important songs. I love that they were written, and I love the music. And that's it. That's all I can say. Now, I didn't really focus on the music, but all the music sounded amazing. The singing. And I love that songs like these exist. I honestly do. But I just don't want to get too much into politics and stuff, because that always ends in a debate, and I don't want to have a debate in the comment section. I just want you to have fun. So still, even if it's something that is not so, it's not like talking about Genesis or the Rolling Stones or Pink Floyd, but let's talk about it, but just as good as we can. So thank you again so much. Thank you, JK, for both these amazing marathons. I wish you all a happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day. Enjoy it. Do something amazing. Call your family if you don't have them close. Tell them you love them. Do something fun if you have them, and enjoy the day. And I'll see you all in the next one.